Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Paper Dungeon. We're doing episode 13 tonight. We do have a few announcements to get started with. First and foremost, as you guys can see, Lydia is not here again this week. She's gonna be taking a few weeks. We don't know quite how long, but she's gonna be taking some time to work through some stuff. So we won't see her for a little while, but we are missing her and we're looking forward to having her back. With that being said, we're not going to start with Drew because that feels a little too much like replacing Lydia, and I don't like that idea. So we're going to start with Grant.
Because you started
Grant,
last week.
Ooh, starting in reverse.
Hello, everybody. Today I have soup. You know what's great about soup? It's perfect all year round, even when it's hot. That's my opinion. You know what else is perfect year round? Podcast listening and YouTube viewing. If you do that to our stream, we appreciate you.
What a lead-in, bro.
And one day, I hope to see you live. We're live every Monday evening with the main campaign. You could show up and literally see our faces and voices in real time. And not only that, you could put words in the chat that we see, as well as other people who are there. It's
You
pretty cool.
have to be here to admire Grant's fire setup.
Yeah,
all right.
I just updated it. Podcast listeners, it's really cool. You got to be here to see it, though.
He's the only one who looks like a streamer here.
Yeah.
The only one
You
that
know
looks
what
like
else
a
is
person.
great?
The rest of us look like blurry, like light washed old
No,
men.
you guys look great.
I
You
look
guys look great.
so white.
You really do.
I look like Drew in season 1.
We really do need to fix some of the
Chapter 1, yeah.
Yeah, chapter 1 Drew when it glowed.
And you know what else is great about being live? If you have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free.
Oh, that's
You heard me
nice,
right.
bro.
You can support the show and get our cool emotes for free with Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Help us out. It would be great. Yeah, that's all. Glad you're here, guys.
Good job, Grant.
While we're talking to the podcast listeners, just so you all know, you just missed, as Grant was making his announcement, was finishing his announcement, he, without skipping a beat, adjusted his camera, moved a candle, ate some soup. You gotta be here live to
Flawless
see it.
multitasking.
Dude,
Dude,
that's
it's
gonna
most,
be-
yeah.
It was impressive.
Well, I can see on the frame, Drew's framing of my screen is just slightly different than the cropping of my frame. So I always adjust it slightly to make sure everything looks perfect. So that's what I was
Wow.
doing there.
So,
awesome.
so in other words, I'm not good enough for Grant.
Hey, I never said that. That's reading between the
You
lines.
just implied it.
That's just, you're just extrapolating a little bit. Aaron,
No,
have
you
our
do
next
great at your
announcement.
job.
All right, it's my turn. Sup, everybody. I'm not as sick this week, so theoretically I'll be more lucid. Pretty pumped about it. Speaking of being lucid, that's a terrible segue. We have a website. And on that website, we have a merch store where you can buy cool merch that has our logo on it, other fun things. We've got like hats and shirts and all sorts of stuff. I think we still sell coffee mugs. I'm not entirely sure. Speaking of merch stores, although Lydia is not here, her store is currently still running. www.lydiacorinne.com. You can buy her art and that she has already made or commission art from her. You should do that because Lydia's cool and makes good art. All of our overlays, all of our character art has all been done by Lydia. She's very good at her job.
She's very, very good at her job.
Other than that, we also have a Discord. And that Discord, pretty snapping. Recently, because I have been getting more time to be able to do cool stuff because college is slowing down, I've been back in there streaming some games with a couple people back in the Discord. So we're starting to pick back up that stuff. Our
Like
community
what?
is really
What
awesome.
game have you streamed recently?
Oh man, sadly, I've been playing on PS4, but my good friend Ryan, aka Mickey Joe CJR, which also streams on Twitch, you should totally follow him. We've been playing some Overwatch 2.
Wow, the new
absolutely.
game that's
We've been
hot. If you like
gaming-
that game.
Yeah, we've been
Check
gaming
out our
pretty
Discord.
hard.
That's awesome.
So check that out. Also, if you are a subscriber to our Patreon, if you are a patroneer, it is very important to be on that Discord because, well, subs need to be there. Patreon, we appreciate you too. But subs will get some access to some of our Patreon stuff that we will release to the Discord, subs only. So you better be there if you're a subscriber to our Twitch. Shout out to our Patreon.
What
though.
you
We'll
could
be
get with
ramping up some
Amazon Prime.
yeah, absolutely. So
Which is
check
also
us
very
out there.
exciting and important because our Abinthy, Triple Wits, and
Yes.
Edward one shot
Edward.
should be released to our subscribers here soon. So very exciting. It should be at the beginning of next month. Probably is that this week? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, something like
If
that.
you like Men in Tights, you'll like that episode.
Oh yeah. Whew.
Yeah, very
With
exciting.
so much spandex.
Drew, you're gonna have our last announcements.
Hi guys. If you are watching this and like the content that you see either tonight or from previous episodes, check us out also on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. There's little fun clips and segments of the main show and even some of the side shows and one shots that we've done. Little cool fun moments. Also check us out on stuff like Twitter or not Facebook and Instagram. That's the thing, right?
Or not
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's Instagram.
Yeah.
We still get emails from Facebook. They're like, "Wow, Paper Dungeon, you're doing great on Facebook." And I'm like, "Don't lie.
Don't lie to us.
Don't
You have-
don't."
Well, here's
just
the thing,
wanna keep
is
people
we
there.
get 1 page view a month, and that's 100% increase from what it was the last week.
Let's
So
go.
That's fair. Also about TikTok and stuff. Since Lydia is taking some time, output of that has been slow, and it will continue to be a little bit slow because I am going to be attempting to make them, and I am not good at it.
Woo! Yeah, Aaron.
And I have no idea what I'm doing, and I've never done it before.
Media manager,
So it
Aaron.
could be real bad.
Who could have seen this coming?
Not
None of
me.
us.
None of us here.
If any of our Twitch chat viewers know how to do TikTok stuff, feel free to contact us on Discord at the Paper Dungeon. I'm sure Aaron
That's
would love
an
some tips.
interesting idea.
I would
Yes,
love
please
help.
help.
Also, shout
Outsourcing?
out just some things on the side. If anyone's a RuneScape classic expert, hit me up because I got some plans. But that's besides the point. That's personal stuff. This is a Paper Dungeon. We've got a game to play.
We
Back
do
to
have
you,
a game
DJ.
to play, and I think we have said everything we need to say. So,
Yeah.
without further ado, Drew, roll the clip.
Welcome to Nico Muris, a world of lost legend and forgotten lore. As the world, still recovering from the decimation of the trial, approaches the turn of the century, ancient evil returns with a lust for darkness and ruin. Follow us into a planar conspiracy as powers beyond your imagination plot the downfall of all that is right and good. 3 years have passed since our heroes fought a war to reclaim a fallen land. Now, they must once again take up arms and write a new story, a tale of glory, fear, and fortune, as they make their way through the Paper Dungeon.
And we are back.
We're back.
Very exciting. So,
Very exciting.
Is it exciting? Are we sure?
I hope
Very.
I'm pretty
if you're not
disappointed.
excited. Why are you
honestly.
here? Go away, Drew.
Nothing. It hasn't even started, Aaron. Don't sip your soda condescendingly at the beginning here.
So, in our
Hold on,
previous
wait, real quick.
episodes,
Drew,
Oh my gosh.
and by that I mean DJ. I want you to make this concise.
I have bullet points this time.
I was
I'm
gonna say
supposed to not gonna ramble.
last week we recapped like the past 5 episodes.
Wait,
We're
did
like,
you
from
just
the beginning.
accidentally misname our DM?
Look, I was
Yes,
looking
you
in
did.
Drew's glorious eyes.
Okay.
Okay,
I love how
Goodbye,
every
baby
time-
by his locks.
Every time we
Here's-
stall, DJ gets visibly unsettled because he's trying to start the episode.
So here's a little behind the scenes.
If we-
For those of you who are curious how I DM, I do virtual notes. I have a template that I make, and there's a little recap thing right at the top where I'm supposed to write the recap before the session. And I usually don't. I usually just leave that blank and then wing it. But I have
couldn't tell.
noticed that they have slowly gotten longer and longer and longer. And so this time I put 4 bullet points to try and keep it concise. So
That's really
see if I
good.
can do it.
Sounds good.
Uh,
to me.
Really
Light
good.
him up.
Keeping it real tonight.
Light him up. You got this, champ.
Okay, we're starting now.
Oh wait,
Our
wait,
party-
wait, wait.
Oh, my
Deep breath.
God.
Here, do you want me to recount you in?
Yeah, here, count me in. Count me in. Just a second. All right. Also, I apologize. We are a professional stream. I swear.
No, we're not.
No,
I'm ready.
You actually okay? All right.
Give me the cannon.
All right.
The hand of God
from
descended upon the realm
5.
of men.
That's so
Here we go.
long.
All right, and we are back. So, our party has been making their way across the plains on a variety of different adventures. The most recent of which has been recovering the Dagger of First Death, this legendary artifact produced by Asmodeus that will help Renaya be able to take care of some of her personal business and release her soul. Once they had gathered that, they returned to the material plane, where they decided to have a little R&R. They relaxed, they rejuvenated, they sat in the sauna until Abinthy made an amazing comment that sent Cather over the edge. Cather took off. Renaya went to go console him, and as they were conversing, they ran into or found, or really Kiyomura found them. But their long-lost friend Kiyomura was reunited with them. You all talked, you enjoyed each other's company, you grilled him on where he'd been for the last 3 years. He answered, and eventually he revealed that what he'd been trying to do was resurrect Melora. He'd been trying to do this through a number of different ways. He'd met with clerics, he met with the Fae, he'd met with all sorts of different powerful beings in an attempt to kind of appease his guilt by bringing back Melora. And eventually this journey led him to the city of Wisteria Vale, and specifically to the founder of Wisteria Vale herself. They struck up a friendship and eventually a courtship, and along the way they were able to find components and a path that could allow for this goal to be achieved, a ritual of sorts that would allow severed souls or souls that are being kept by specific people to re-enter a body, similar to a true resurrection spell, but allowing it to kind of work around some of the restrictions that can sometimes be in place with the way that souls are kind of divided in D&D. And so he informed you all of this, and he asked you to join him as they were ready to perform that final ritual. They'd done the tests, they ran the calculations, and they were confident that this was going to be the test that would truly work. So you joined him going to Wisteria Vale, you met her, you met up with your acquaintance Adelar Crave, a man that you've helped before in the past, and he helped you get to Sigil. Acquaintance, I feel like, is an appropriate word.
More like burgeoning enemy.
Maybe perhaps
Maybe for Abinthy, he has
benefactor.
strong opinions.
No, Abinthy is just a
Benefactor?
full-on enemy.
Sugar
But
daddy
you guys
in
met
some
up
ways.
with your benefactors, acquaintances, and friends. Just put everybody in there. And went to the altar of Elmar, a very holy place, an altar devoted to any and all divine beings, not devoted to any one specific being, which is important because you can't have any devotion to one being when performing this ritual. It has to either be none or all. There's no in between. You arrived at the altar, you carried the components and the simulacrum of Melora up to the top of the altar, and the ritual was performed. It took a little while, about 4 hours in total to do, at which point you guys talked, you walked around, you spied on each other basically.
Played
But
some
after those
tunes.
4 hours, the ritual was complete, and Melora took her first breath on the material plane for the first time in 3.5 years.
And what was her first words?
Where am I? What's going on? Something like that.
No, I'm pretty
You should
sure.
have said Dinnefish.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Something.
sure that's what happened. I'm pretty sure we like clowned about it, and then you joined in. So I think technically, Dinafesh.
I
was
would like to
probably her
believe
first
that her
words.
first word back was bread.
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 But she took her first breath on the material plane. You guys
Breath.
talked for just a little bit before deciding to kind of group up together and really hash out what's gone on. We stopped there, hoping that Lydia would be able to join us today, but that is where we will pick up So, Cather, Edward, Abinthy, Kiamora, Renaya, you were all kind of sitting in a circle, cross-legged, along with Melora. She has Ginger in her lap. She has fresh flowers blooming from her hair. There's the faint scent of cinnamon, if you will all remember, that is constantly surrounding her. She has her oath bow off to the side. You can see she does not have any of her other personal belongings outside of the clothing given to her. So it's just the oath bow and her clothes.
I assume the oath bow is still broken, right?
The oath bow is not broken.
No, it was fixed.
Oh, it was fixed. I missed
Yeah,
that
the
part.
magic, when they shoved the soul into it, it made it whole.
Nice.
So, I leave the floor to you guys. She's sitting there patiently waiting. We'll say she's drinking some tea.
Sure.
Edward made it.
Yeah, Edward made some tea for everyone. Sure.
Of course, it's oolong tea.
Of course, it's her favorite. I don't actually know if that's true or not.
I don't remember.
So I'd like to think that up to this point, I mean, we kind of ended up on a pleasant note. I think last time, the scientists did their thing, talked to her. We were like, we had talked to her, made our things. I'm imagining maybe we're laughing, having a good time. So Edward will kind of awkwardly in the middle of a lull in conversation go, so, what exactly was it like after, Zastari, well, killed you? What was that like?
I don't remember a lot. Also, Hannah, if you're watching, I'm really sorry about wrecking your accent.
Oh,
I'm going to send her a compilation of you
Scottish people,
butchering.
I'm so sorry.
Didn't a fish about it.
Fish.
Gonna text her right now.
Yeah, call her up. Put DJ on blast.
Please do. I don't remember much. It was dark and there was, I think, a forest around me.
Forest was good.
I think I might have been in the Feywild, but
Should be in a purple cocoon thing in a castle.
I'll be honest. I almost said something as Avanthy, but in the accent of Melora because I was still in it. So I was, that's an
That'd be
interesting
so
story you're talking
offensive.
about now.
While she's talking about her death experience, Abinthy's making fun.
haven't
All
these
right,
teasers.
continue, Melora.
I mean,
Don't listen to them.
That's basically it. My experience after death is unmemorable.
And
Grant expected more.
well, you know what, Grant? Maybe the DM didn't plan for us to ask that question.
Look, okay,
Or-
but here's
Or
the
maybe
she's
she's
thing.
not
a
actually
floating
born.
soul in the Feywild
Yeah,
being
that's
imprisoned by
fine.
Zastari.
Exactly.
It's logical. I'm fine with it. I just
Yes.
anticipated something.
Anyway, so if that is the case, what do you still remember everything before that, though? Before you died, meeting all of the group and
choice.
kind of everything that we've done together.
It is foggy. Foggy.
It
No, you're
is
doing great.
foggy.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Foggy.
Keep it up. Confidence.
It is foggy. But they are returning slowly. I remember all of you, and I remember our adventures. I remember crushing a dragon.
Multiple times, if the stories are correct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I recall you going off with people
the three
and
of
just
us
like
totally
coming back
did kill a dragon.
and
I
saying,
forgot.
oh,
Multiple
there's
times
we
they
killed a
killed
dragon
dragons.
today.
There's so many dragons.
I think there's 3,
There's at
maybe
least
4.
3.
I feel like you guys didn't tell me how many dragons you killed.
Well, let's see. We've killed at least
Track
2.
killed 1.
Terra Columos doesn't work for the record, or doesn't count.
No, we did that.
No,
We
no.
did
We
not
were
get that
there.
kill marker.
Yeah,
we
we were
killed,
there
We killed the black
after.
dragon,
The kill faded long faded.
We
And then-
killed Thor Dune.
And then we killed one other one. I don't remember his
We killed one in the war.
in the war. Yeah,
Yeah, you killed.
That's
the
all
Crystal
besides the
Dragon.
point.
It
It's
was
nice to know
and then
that
we
you
almost killed the crystal
remember.
dragon, but that one got away.
You know, I
Sarah.
have expected
Yeah.
Melora to be like, when I was dead, I had this vision.
Grant's fishing so hard. He's like, but hear me out though. What if Melora did experience
It's
something?
just like anyway.
I,
A lot has happened since then. We have much to catch you up on, but I'm very happy that you have your wits about you still. I was worried you'd come back not entirely whole in mind or heart. It's good to see you again.
I mean, there's many holes in my memory. Rich.
I'm sorry.
I know it's terrible. I know it's terrible.
No,
Uh,
it's great.
There are many holes in my memory, but I think they are coming back.
Look, I'm laughing, but I'm muted.
You
Aaron's
guys-
I know.
having-
what's up with you
Aaron's
guys?
just like belly laughing to himself.
I love this. I think it's completely acceptable.
Well, it's gonna have to be because that's what I got. So
I like it.
Oh, I'm
And
not
you know
laughing
what?
at the accent. Something else entirely.
And these gaps in your memory, are these like, from what you know, are they like events that's after you met us or before, or things?
I remember. I remember a little bit about before. I remember when my family died. I
You
remember-
didn't talk about that much before either.
By the way, DM, in case you did forget, back in the day, Cather was the only one who knew about Melora's somewhat sketchy like part of her
Yeah,
life.
we
that she
we
doesn't
knew
remember.
we knew like ideas of like, oh, there was problems with her family or whatever, and she feels guilty. But like other than that, yeah. But
Cool.
But Cather is the one
Mic
who actually,
drop.
like, she actually told, like, hey, by the way, I think I killed my family.
no.
What?
Sorry.
We all knew this.
Yeah, I dropped that.
Out of game.
Mic drop. But
You
anyway.
what? Just kidding.
Oh my god!
But the only reason I bring that up
remember-
is because now Cather doesn't know that. So if
Oh, that
that's
is
something
fair.
if that's something that
Uh-oh.
Well,
Melora
the
would
beauty
then
of it is
notice,
she doesn't. So the beauty of it, for both plot reasons and my own convenience, is that she's a little confused right now. So
Great.
she doesn't quite remember who knows what.
perfect.
Nor does she
That's
quite
fine.
care.
I want.
Our
I just wanted.
family
I
is
just wanted
dead.
I just wanted to clarify.
Abinthy will speak up and say, "Oh, but you do remember? Just to clarify, you do remember Cather, though, correct? You know who Cather
Aye.
is.
I do.
Cather, have your memories of Melora returned?
Your memories of me?
I was. Gonna,
Well, when
I was
you
gonna
died,
get to that later.
well, at a later point, oh,
I was
shoot.
gonna, maybe in a
You
more
hadn't-
private moment.
I so overstepped my bounds there.
What do you
I'm
mean?
so sorry.
Abinthy.
Okay, well,
That was really not tactful.
before we. Okay, well, I mean, this is fine. I mean,
Best part about it was I was about to reveal some plot info and then you interrupted me. It was great.
No.
So
That's
some
what I
context, some context, Melora. So as Edward mentioned, it's been a while since when Zastari killed you. It's been specifically about 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Shortly after you had died, we, as a party, were called back to Athala to help in a war to retake Ocleron from the onslaught of Fae and undead creatures. During that journey, after returning and kind of regrouping, we decided to try and gain some new allies in the orcs from the Crimson Wastes. On that journey back from the Crimson Wastes back to the front lines, we were attacked, and all of us almost died, actually. But luckily, we were able to come back from the brink. However, during that process, both Edward and Track had to be revivified, and by myself and Renaya, and in doing so had to sacrifice something in order to get them back. Melora, so Renaya had sacrificed her memories of Lotta, and in turn Lotta also forgot about Renaya. I had sacrificed my memories of you. At the time, none of us thought that we would see you again.
So you don't know who I am?
Well, kind of.
And I just kissed you.
Oh,
Right.
it gets much worse.
Anyway, so after that happened, some context from the others, I at least have an understanding of the kind of relationship that the two of us had, that we were very, very close. And I more recently remembered when you died by Sistari, kind of the emotions that I felt in that moment, and that helped give me the understanding of a little more of who we were to each other, which is part of the reason why I wanted all of this to work, was so that I could get to know the person that I once felt so closely to.
The word is loved. You're looking for the word loved.
Yes, thank you, Avanthi.
No problem. I forget words all the time.
However, I am committed to somebody else right now.
Pin drop.
I see. She scoots a little farther away from you. Okay.
That's a good reaction. That's good.
And the rest of you? What's happened to all of you?
Oh, well, I have all of my memories. I remember you.
Thanks,
I mean,
Edward.
we're cousins. And
We are.
also, I kind of run Athala now. And the orcs have their own land in Oclaron, thanks to Tarak and his sacrifice for them. And I've overseen. Oh, we haven't.
I was
Gosh
yes.
darn
I was going to touch on that before
It's
you mentioned.
tough, right? Sometimes
I
you just
got it,
don't
I got it.
realize that sometimes they don't.
I got it.
Look, I'm on your side here.
Look,
But yes, Tarak.
I got it. Tarak. You see, Melora, on that eve, when we were facing one of the anathema,
What's an anathema?
She doesn't know what the anathema are.
It's a
a very powerful wizard. There's a lot of them. They're
Prosius.
behind. Thank you, Avanthi. They're behind Prosius. There's a lot of things going down now, apparently, that they may or may not be involved in. Anyways, there's one of them, very powerful, worse than Prosius, if you can believe it. Smarter, anyways. And well, I died, as he had mentioned, as well as Cather. Who else died?
Well, this is actually a different moment
not-
than what I was referring to
Ah,
before.
jeez. Oh well, I had died,
You died.
and well, something had to be given up.
Tarak
Tarak
traded places with that.
Traded places with me. Thank you for helping me out, because I couldn't remember quite exactly
Yes,
how it
Renaya
went.
attempted to resurrect you normally.
Yeah, she
Thanks
had
to what
nothing to
you've
give.
told me.
Yes.
That's how I know.
And
it,
My
canonically.
favorite thing is Grandma's like,
he-
guys, I got it.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Help. Line?
You know Tarak. You remember him. Tarak gave so much for us and for what he believed in. And when it mattered, he gave himself for my life. And it's me who sits in front of you instead of him. And I'm forever in debt to him for that. So he didn't die for no reason. And in some ways, he's still here with us.
I see.
Havel just got killed by a sea monster, but...
Well,
that was-
Malora was around for that.
Oh, yeah,
I-
but you were
I
here for
was.
that.
Good job, Edward.
Poor Havel.
I know that that's obviously a lot to unpack, and I mean, feel free to obviously take your time with it.
And
But-
this is Abinthy. He's with us now.
Yeah.
Undo.
Yes, this is
Yes, you helped with the ritual.
yes.
Yes, that was me. I'm a bit of an arcanist myself. I have a debt to pay, and so I'm here to help. Fate's Gambit. I almost called them Destiny's Gamble. Completely different group. Fate's
Well,
Gambit with whatever
it-
they need.
Appears that I am now indebted to you. So
No,
thank you.
not at all. Frankly,
I was waiting for her
the
to say
success
what's
of
Fate's
this
Gambit.
ritual is enough of a benefit to me than anything else. So consider your debt cleared. Although if you do feel indebted, I won't deny you doing me a favor sometime in the future.
Well, plus, honestly, we wouldn't be here without Kiyomora's urgency behind the matter.
Yes.
Yeah, really, he is the one who did a lot of the legwork to make this possible,
Yes.
from what I
He
understand.
convinced us.
Kiyomura kind of has been looking down, kind of keeping his eyes down. I felt that I owed you. So I'm glad you're back. And I'm sorry I couldn't help sooner. That was Kiyomura.
I could tell.
Yeah, that was great.
Ransom confused.
What did Melora do for Kiyomura back in the day?
Well, back in the
Be his
day,
friend.
She dated his boyfriend.
and she is also was also one of his oath keepers.
Yeah.
Oh,
was his-
in
Melora
the
was his-
freaking
Melora
In
was
the
his oath
freaking
keeper,
feud-
Cather's his
where's-
oath brother.
graveyard.
And Melora and Cather are his two best friends in the world.
Mhm.
Melora
Aw.
died, and then Cather died.
But then
Kiyomura
Cather
felt like
came
he was
back.
responsible for both
Yeah.
of that. Or that he
Cather came
couldn't-
back,
been
demigod
there.
status.
But he got back after Kiyomura left.
Hmm.
So
Well, that's awfully sweet of Kiyomura to bring his
What
friend
a
back.
loser.
Kiyomura's a sad guy.
Absolutely.
Wow. Anyway,
So, is there anything else
Jeez.
that I should know about immediately?
Ginger's a
hmm.
20th level druid.
We have a keep. It's ginormous. And
Yes, you have a memorial there.
Yes, and we have plenty of guest rooms. You could stay. You could stay in a guest room. We have plenty, and we have a ballroom. We have a kitchen. Remember
also
all
have
of the
a sauna.
riches we found.
In
We
terms of
put them
plot
to use.
relevance, though, Renaya, I hate to take this from you, dear. Renaya is currently ensorcelled by the demon lord Baphomet, and we are on a quest to eventually destroy him to place Renaya at a place of power, and then remove the shackles binding her to this demon lord form. By the way, she is a demon lord, and just so that way it doesn't blindside you out of nowhere, I am dating this lord of the sixth day of hell.
For the record, I'm dating nobody.
Hey, that means he's available.
She's
I
my
say
cousin.
towards the guards, hey, he's available.
Don't worry, he's new. It's
So-
Abinthy. He says things.
He says things.
So you have a keep, and you're dating whoever the Lord of the
Duchess
Sixth Air
Glacia,
is,
Lord of the Sixth Day of Hell. Yes.
Glacia, and Rini, you are dating
Grotz still.
Graz. Oh, you guys actually like got together? That's good.
Oh, they're
Oh.
beautiful couple. You should see
Yeah.
the art.
And you're dating someone.
A god, actually. Man, I'm just dropping bombs out of nowhere today. I am so
I
sorry.
wasn't gonna say it. I
God.
wasn't gonna say it.
I could
I
I
really
could
don't
I
like
could
that.
sense
Dating your god.
I could sense the sass from DJ from Hannah from Melora.
Can I say a thing real quick?
And no one's stopping you.
So far, this episode feels so off the rails, but I really want to emphasize how weird this is.
I mean, yeah, 100%.
This is
None of
the
us
none of us saw this
expected
coming.
this.
Here's Melora. Yes, we've all done new things, but this adventuring stuff, the things we did before. Honestly, I feel like this is a short-term thing again. We all recently met again, and it's because of, well, the dealings in the Fae, and I
What
don't
about the
think
Fae?
you've.
Oh, so
Right.
what Edward was trying to get at, and I was going to follow this up. Currently, the Anathema, we mentioned them previously, they were the ones behind Frosius. They are
Killed
working
me.
together with the Archfey, and we think the Demon Lords, but we're pretty sure that they're still working on that.
Well,
level.
yes, we're trying to prevent an actual alliance between the Demon Lords.
Yes, they are trying to have just a full-scale invasion, we think, of the material plane. The Archfey have opened up all borders, so things are just going real wacky with the teleportation. And I have a theory that might be Kiamora's fault inadvertently by attempting to resurrect you, but that's just my own opinion.
He was like, bro, what the heck?
I mean, that scroll had to be real bad, right? Like, you've got to admit, the scroll's got to be bad.
I'm sure.
I mean,
I couldn't
There's
read it.
no
I'm
way
sorry.
to
I
know.
don't.
no,
I can't,
no,
I
I'm
can't
not.
read it.
I'm
I
not
don't know.
blaming you. Look, I've
I'm
done
feeling
worse.
a little attacked here. Okay,
No, no,
I'm,
no.
a little
I'm-
defensive at the moment.
I'm just saying that we need to examine all possibilities to potentially prevent problems in the future. And I'm
That's
just saying that
probably
obtaining and understanding the scroll at some point in time may be advisable.
That's
Because
probably
just the correlation between you give scroll to Archfey and then shortly after Archfey open up portals to other dimensions is a pretty crazy coincidence, right?
All right. Well,
yeah, I suppose you got a
the
point.
fact of the matter, Melora, is that it seems as if, again, something is happening that is threatening the material plane, our very existence, and it's an unfortunate time to be resurrected, maybe, but you're here now, and well, we're grasping at straws in some ways. We're trying to think of something, anything we can do to prevent what seems inevitable now, which is the maybe the siege on the material plane. I know it's a lot.
Okay. It would take me a while to process all of that, but I'm gathering it. I'm understanding. I know this seems rather off topic, but do we have something to eat?
I
I'm
have a spice pouch.
starving.
Cather pulls out a couple rations.
Oh,
She
we
starts,
can
like,
do better than
wolfing it
that.
down.
I'm gonna search through my pack that I assume I have like a lot of dried like meats and vegetables.
Oh, yeah, you
that
got
could be
jerky.
reconstituted
Um,
into
I
like
got
an actual
jerky.
meal.
This is an interesting question. Was Melora vegetarian?
I can make do with anything, dog. I've got lentils.
Yeah, she didn't eat animals. She thought it was like kind of messed up, I think.
Yeah.
I know that she didn't kill plants because Track wanted to chop down a tree, and she was like, "We don't do that."
She's
here."
like, yeah.
I don't remember for sure.
Yeah. you guys
Canonically,
are
I
making
think
some
yes.
food. And she just starts wolfing it down. Some of the
Wolfing.
members of the Order of the Chosen. You guys make enough food. Once you start making
yeah,
some
these
food, everybody's
guys.
kind of like, oh yeah, we
Does
should.
anyone have anything else to throw into the pot? I've got a kind of hot pot going on right now. You can pretty much. I've got a couple of different things.
I think they
some
call
spices.
those potlucks.
I'm
when
just
everybody brings
throwing.
other
I'm like
things.
cumin, paprika, like just wham, wham out of the spice pouch.
You are the salt guy.
I am Salt Bay.
It's an old meme.
Well, that is all happening. Kind of moving on to a different topic. What do we want to try to do now? We've kind of succeeded on our recent endeavors of getting the dagger first deaths. However, we can't really use it to fight Baphomet yet, because even still, we probably could still die to Baphomet pretty easily.
Oh,
And
terribly.
Plus, to be fair, we
And
didn't really
it's-
all agree to doing that quite yet.
right, exactly. If we did that, we would definitely start chaos and war in
We've
not
got
the good
enough
ways.
problems.
Just know the rule. I have an idea, but I'm not sure if anyone else would be super down with it. I don't even know if it's a possibility. Kath, I would love to talk with you about it, just in private at some point in time. Real quick, Melora, do you remember any sort of purple glowing chrysalis, perhaps? Just a side question. Any memories of that? Anything? Strike any bells?
Wait.
Hold
Was
on,
this
she's thinking
before or
about it.
after
Let
you
it happen.
died?
No, hold on. Let it get through.
I asked this
Well-
question. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, okay, that is actually something.
It,
Oh my goodness, this is why
It's-
I remember.
it's foggy, but it was a long time ago. I'm going way British.
No, it's
It's
okay. Just
foggy.
do whatever
It's
is natural.
foggy.
Is
Malloy's
Top of the
accent
morning,
is
Joy.
Melora's
familiar,
original
DJ.
body in the purple chrysalis in the Feywild?
It was Professor Plum with the crowbar in the library.
It was a long time ago. I worked with Zestari.
Ooh.
We were close.
Quite close. Purple chrysalis.
It was after my
Think.
family died.
Ooh.
She took me in. I became an autumn daughter.
Wait, the things Track would go on about. He was right all along. You were.
Let her follow the thought.
This is a big deal.
We can ask questions later. Let her follow
Ah.
the trail.
Okay, continue.
became-
Sorry.
A part of Zestari's personal guard. And her and I became very close. She was almost like another mother to me. And then I saw that the chrysalis, purple chrysalis.
Yes. Do you know anything about it? Think very, very carefully.
It was precious to her. She had made a vow to protect it. A vow to a goddess.
Ooh. Ah, that was loud.
I don't remember who. And I don't remember what's in it, but it's dangerous.
For who, do you know?
I could sense a desire from it to conquer, to rule. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I don't really remember, but it was disturbing.
It's okay.
Powerful.
Feel free to take your time and think about it. Come back with
Okay.
any more information that you have. I'm sure that it will probably be completely irrelevant.
Melora,
Now you can go with
Why-
the questions.
Why didn't you ever tell us about this?
I don't think I remember it.
You didn't remember?
I
So-
think I remember that when we were traveling together, there was a hole in my memory. Things I didn't quite understand at the time. I think I mentioned that to you, Catherine.
Do you know when? Like when you mentioned it to me?
I don't remember when she said it, but I think she had mentioned that she
She
had
did.
a lapse in her memory.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty. If I recall correctly, she had told Cather when they were imprisoned together by Prosius.
I know that it was not on stream.
Yeah.
She
It
had
had to have
also
been.
Yeah, I
said,
think it was when Prozis was torturing you guys.
Yeah.
didn't she
Yeah.
also say it was a large span of time?
Yeah,
Like
it was
surprisingly large.
Several decades, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
And DM, to clarify, like from that time of us being imprisoned, I recall being imprisoned with somebody. I just don't recall it being with Laura.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's so curious. You couldn't remember then, and then you're in Cather's vision, and then you're with us. Zastari, why would she go back and find you? There's got to be more pieces to the puzzle here. Clearly, you were important to her for some reason.
Well,
Maybe it was something you did, or
well, my guess would be, Edward, that perhaps that is when some plans started to take shape, and Melora at that point was a loose end.
that was my point.
And
What if Melora, for some reason, was the reason they were afraid? Maybe Melora, for some reason, is a key to maybe beating the Fae.
that is possible? And
Maybe.
as a reminder, when I recently went to the Fae, I saw this purple chrysalis in Zestari's castle.
You were in Zastari's castle?
Yes,
Man, do
I
you
guess
not listen?
I told you this when you guys first found me.
Darn it, guys. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I don't
Melora
know
do-
what this purple chrysalis
You
fine.
had a lot going on.
Melora,
then you were very concerned
Melora
about
doesn't know, so I can
following
recap
everything.
anyway. But when I
Sounds
was
like side mission loot.
when I was invited to go there a couple months ago, and I escaped just barely with my life, I did see some sort of purple chrysalis in her castle still. Perhaps it's the same one.
Also, this is very reminiscent of see. This is Aaron's natural strong suit of talking to NPCs in video games and understanding the correct keyword to put in to get them to give you the plot point. So,
And this chrysalis, they're protecting it, it sounds. Do you think... I mean, we have the dagger. What's another powerful item?
I mean, I think the chrysalis is a bit big for us to steal.
Well,
Oh.
yes. If we were to go there, we would probably have to destroy it. That would be the ideal plan.
And I
but-
don't-
Do any of us know what it does? Abatha,
Well,
you
it
seemed
contains
interested.
something very dangerous. What I'm afraid of is that whatever's in there, it's not protecting it. The star is not protecting it so it can grow and nurture and become stronger. Perhaps she is protecting it so it is not unleashed.
Ah.
I don't know
I
if we would want
don't-
to destroy it. I don't know. I mean, we don't have any information on
I mean,
this.
we don't.
All
but
right,
that
well-
doesn't. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
Theodora pipes in. And it was a deal with a goddess. To
A
protect.
goddess, and they hate the goddesses. They hate
Could
all
you
the
remember
goddesses.
which goddess?
No.
I mean,
Oh, no.
Who would
Don't
want to
remember.
make a deal with a Fae?
okay. At
It
this
seems a bit risky
point,
for a
Cather
god.
is gonna separate from the group just momentarily and just kind of meditate
Kneels
a
to
little
himself.
bit.
He's
And
doing
he is
an
going to
anime
try
thing.
to commune with both Atrasil and Adaria.
The triune of death.
Well,
Okay.
not really the Triune, but specifically Adaria because she's a goddess.
A goddess.
But yeah, he's gonna just try to reach out and be like, "Hey, Do either of you have a moment to talk a little bit?
Now
Hey,
you happen
you
to make
up?
a deal with Justari.
WYD question mark.
Heard your parents aren't home.
What are you wearing?
Ew.
Shut up.
They're gods.
Um,
Call me
while
yourself,
he's trying to
Adam, dude.
commune with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's aunt,
Nice.
the rest of you guys
That's a great question. Oh, geez. Abinthy doesn't have anything particularly planned to talk to Malora because he doesn't know who Malora is.
doing?
Or at
She's
the
off
moment,
playing with
Edward.
Ginger at the moment.
Yeah.
Kind of
Abinthy, or Edward will
got
say a
1,000-yard
thing
stare.
very
kind of.
quickly. Edward will say, well, the chrysalis, maybe it's besides the point. The fact is, Melora, you're here, and maybe if you're up to it, you can help us. You can help the world once again. You can stay at the keep in the meantime. We'll make sure it's a nice stay while you get
Abinthy-
your memory back and whatnot.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's okay, Abinthy.
But Abinthy will also double check to see how much of the ritual can be reused, and what stuff he may need to perform it himself.
How are you? Are you just going over to the
Oh, yeah.
artifacts? You're going over to the thing? Are you talking to Adelar? How you doing?
I'll stop by. I'll do the totally doing my own thing, but in reality, I'm looking over Adelar's shoulder to see what he's got going on.
Go ahead and make
I'm,
a perception check.
I'm just gonna check all of the fancy schmancy magic stuff as well to see is this still in repair and everything, all that jazz.
and all that jazz.
All that jazz.
I thought it,
I'm
but I didn't
gonna
say it.
hit the town. A sad 14.
Okay. It's hard to look over his shoulder at his notes, especially being inconspicuous about it.
I'm not really that inconspicuous. I'm Abinthy. What are they gonna do?
Adelar will be writing some stuff down. Abinthy, do you need something?
Oh, I was just wondering. I noticed that you were double checking all of the equipment. How much of it is reusable? Do you know? Is this a consistent, sustainable effect?
Very little can be reused.
Oh, that's devastating. Is it at least the cheap stuff that's broken?
Unfortunately, no. The soul cage could be reused, thankfully.
That's unfortunate.
But my understanding of the ritual requires that an item that is specific to the person you are trying to bring back is required, such as the oath bow.
Oh, so yeah, it would be
or-
very
so-
difficult to do on mass. I mean, I suppose if you were to
Yes.
find a relic of a person.
Yes. So to bring back someone, you have to have something of theirs. I can't remember the rare form of Audronite, Zestorite or something like that.
Yeah, something sprite.
Oh, it's vaporite.
Vasperite?
No,
Vasperite.
Vasperite.
That's what it is.
Because we made
and the
Vaseline.
Vaseline
the
jokes.
Vaseline
jokes.
joke. Yes, Vasperite. The Vasperite cannot be reused either.
Oh, that's devastating.
Yes, it makes it very difficult.
I have a slight question regarding that. Do you think, I know that Vasperite has incredible properties when it comes to necromancy, but do you think that with simply a large enough power source, it would be overcomeable?
Potentially. It would be very dependent on the nature of the power source. I'm sure if you had some divine champion of sorts that was able to harness its perhaps radiant magic into it, there's potential. But I fear that traditional forms of arcane magic would be subpar.
How far back are you considering traditional?
Abinthy segment.
I
Ancient.
suppose modern traditional. I don't
So
know how.
theoretically, if
magic
you're
works
able to
before.
tap into the source threads of the weave, is that enough? Just theoretically. Like perhaps an original pool of mana that would be used to create the abstract matrix of the weave itself was obtainable.
Theoretically, I suppose. I mean, if you can harness the tools that created the weave itself, all magic comes from the weave, divine and arcane. And so if you can harness what created the weave, I would imagine that would be possible.
Man, if only it were, huh? Well, thank you for your input, Atticus Crave. Bye.
Adalar. Bye.
Adalar, yes. Yes. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Now you can get to Drew's dramatic roleplay.
So Drew, you are communing with the gods, correct?
Mm-hmm. Not all of them, but some of them.
Do? First of all, what did you roll on your religion?
I haven't rolled it yet because I've been waiting for you for the cue.
Go ahead and roll a religion check for me.
Ooh, okay, that's not terrible. Religion, 19.
Okay, and who are you talking to specifically?
First, probably Yggdrasil first.
Okay.
Is that the Death Trio one?
No.
No.
No, that's
That's
a
his
girlfriend.
boyfriend.
Ah, dang it.
You're close. You can 50-50 chance, you know.
It's a rough night.
To be fair, it's Yggdrasil and Adaria, so
I know, they're
Yeah,
so close.
And they're related.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's just
And
not fair.
Cather's dated both of them, kind of.
He's been in a relationship with both of them for sure.
He's been in a committed relationship with both of them.
Yes.
Yes, that
Fair.
is technically true.
That's fair.
One of them didn't end well.
So you're talking to Yggdrasil.
Yes, first. Yggdrasil, do you know of any... Well, I shouldn't say recent, but it seems that at some point Zastari made a deal with a goddess in order to guard some strange chrysalis in her castle. Do you know of what that could at all be, or when that might have happened, or who? The chrysalis itself, apparently, whoever is, well, we don't know what is holding, but it seems to emanate this aura of this desire to conquer and to gain power. Anything that you know would be very helpful.
You hear a voice in your head. A few minutes later. I will meet with you later.
Nice.
Oh, okay. All right. Great. After that,
Now in a meeting.
well, that's not quite what that means, but
TTYL.
yeah. After that, Cather will regroup with everyone else. Well, I don't have any information right now, but I will in a little bit. If possible, I think it would be best for us to maybe get back to the keep and try and regroup
Yes.
a little bit and make a plan.
That would be nice.
Laura, you're gonna love it.
Kiamora kind of pipes up. I don't want to prevent you from going home, but we were planning on kind of having a banquet in honor
It's
of
been a while since I've been to a banquet.
In
Like
honor-
what kind of banquet?
A banquet of souls.
a celebration. We were planning on having a celebration since the ritual was successful.
Yes,
Oh.
let's celebrate.
I
That
thought
sounds plot relevant.
I thought
I
that
only
we were
brought
trying
my
to keep,
casuals.
I thought we were trying to keep this whole thing on the down low, though.
We are. There's not going to be hundreds of people there,
A
but
private
many who have worked on the
banquet.
project.
Where did you
And-
choose? The pearl's am? Did you choose the golden grape?
Oh yes,
which-
the Golden
which
Grape, my
forum?
favorite of banquet halls.
It would be in Wisteria Vale, is what I'm saying.
Ooh.
And so, we would love to bring you back with us.
Yes.
Abinthy, how quickly can you make a tire?
For who?
Tire?
Attire, like clothing attire.
Are you
Oh,
asking for
attire.
yourself?
TTIRE.
I think you said
Not-
a tire.
Not a tire, no, a
How
tire.
How quickly could you
When do
make
tires
a
come into
wheel?
play?
For yourself or for
well,
for everyone?
Kind of looking down at himself at the
I mean,
like
you look
full
absolutely
armor.
dashing.
Like I mean,
Let's go shirtless.
I don't think this would quite be fitting for
That
a
is
banquet
fair.
hall.
You have I'm glad that you have enough sense to know that.
And
By the way, Edward, I'm pretty sure I, already
okay.
sewed some formal way into your shift.
Yes. Yes.
Unless you would like a new set, I'm willing to go all out.
Oh, wow. I've been thinking of maybe getting some red in a uniform.
Ooh.
Some red and gold, perhaps?
Exotic.
Oh,
Maybe
perfect.
silver.
It will be a perfect
Exotic.
countermeasure to my green.
Abinthy will pull up. He will say, "Abnesht," and his pack will rise off the ground slightly, and he kind of swivels it around and pulls out a little notebook.
Bless
and
you.
starts sketching outfits and says, "Do you have any preferences?" And who will go? "Hey, but we're not going to role play all the preferences of everyone."
Ah, but that'd be so fun.
The Lord does speak up. Would you be able to make me some clothes?
My dear, I've been thinking of it the moment that you took a breath, because frankly, you could use some help.
A green dress. You loved that thing, remember? We could make you a new one.
I don't remember a green dress.
Wait, am I wrong?
No, you're right. She did have a green
Oh,
dress. She just doesn't remember it.
Trust
Emerald
trust
is a
Abinthy.
fantastic
He's
colour for
great.
redheads.
He's great at what he does.
I am
Forest
pretty
green
fantastic.
Abinthy. It
So,
speaks
we're
nature.
going?
I mean, we'll go to the banquet, of course. It's incredibly plot
course.
relevant.
I mean, we're here, aren't we?
Well, we actually have to make a 3 days travel back to Wisteria Vale, but
Now, real quick,
You know what, Cather?
Can I please ask you to doff thine armor? Because in order to get proper measurements, are you going to be wearing the
We
armor?
could all be
at-
matching. Can we get
Wisteria
matching
comes over
clothes?
at this point. I hate to interrupt, but we are ready for our teleportation.
right.
This is our
let's
chance.
leave.
This is our chance, guys. I saw it from chat from the anchored Anki. This is our chance to get matching clothes.
Okay, well, I mean,
All of us
matching clothes.
matching clothes.
I
Got
think
black,
maybe
red, gold.
I think yes, like maybe
Oh,
like
come on now.
a theme. We're not all. I'm not
We're
matching.
all
Edward.
matching. Grumpy old dad.
You guys are gonna have like branded colors. It's gonna be like base Gambit gold and
Oh,
Oh yeah.
some red. We gotta have
Abinthy has been
red.
working on it to present. He has a slideshow prepared, and
It's
he's
like
just
when
been
Edna
working up the
Mode-
guts to present it to Edward.
It's like when
Like,
Edna
hear me
Mode
out, hear me
shows
out.
Helen all of the
I have a
family
whole
suits and
clothing
she
line
doesn't see it
based
coming.
off of the Edward
Bro,
brand.
Edward would faint. It's so exciting.
But yes, we go through the
of
teleportation
course.
circle.
Yes. Hopefully we make it through fine with all the Fae business. Ha. Hut ho.
teleportation
Tut,
circles
tut.
have been working well. I don't know if that's because I'm
She's
stronger
just
or
better.
Well, we've
To
had
be
some
fair,
problems at the keep. You're lucky.
We had to assemble multiple different mages to put ours together. It was frankly a hassle. Don't even get me started on Jerry. He switched around the room so many times.
Is that the
Thanks.
hard hat guy?
Yes, it absolutely is the hard hat
Ah.
guy. I don't know how he was assigned to the teleportation circle. Total misgap. I can't. Don't
at
even
this
get
point-
me. I can't even.
at this point
He's got
everybody else
calves
is
for
waiting
days though.
around in the circle as Abinthy and Edward are just like slowly like talking and making their way over, and everybody's just waiting on them.
They've
But
been
no,
in,
over-
intense teleportation agony while they wait for us to get into
Exactly.
the circle.
Wisteria goes ahead and she'll cast the teleport spell, or teleportation circle, whichever one will get everybody across the plane.
What
The
sound
spell that
does the
teleports.
teleportation circle make? Really?
Yeah.
That's the one.
That? Just doom. That's it?
Would you like something a little? Hello, welcome to the teleportation circle.
Yo, that'd
Where
be
would
awesome.
you like to go?
I always picture like a Doctor Who-esque like
Ooh.
wormhole. No, like you know. The TARDIS. No.
You guys teleport across the plains, instantly finding yourselves back in Wisteria Vale. Much welcomed teleportation rather than your 3-day journey back to the plains. When you find that, when you come back, you are back in the workshop up in the sky, and immediately Adelar and Wisteria leave. They immediately start working and writing things down and preparing different things. But the
It
rest of
does
you
the
are
same.
free to do. Adamanthe does the same.
But with clothes.
Nice.
He goes, I'm requisitioning this workshop, and then just finds an empty, like, just little unused workshop, and is like, all right, I'm going to need everyone to strip. I need proper measurements. Frankly, Katha, just off of base assumption, you have an incredible V-taper, so you're going to be needing a slim, although most people would think you'd need a wide. But trust me, the waist will shine.
I will trust your judgment on this, Abinthy.
Please give Catherine low-rise jeans.
Can we have a deep V?
No.
Oh.
A deep V in a shirt as well.
No.
No, Cather is going to look full on regal by the end of this. I'm talking, he has a single epaulette held shoulder pauldron.
Yeah.
What is
like the fancy
epaulette?
frilly,
What
like
is
with the frills?
pauldron? You're
Absolutely,
saying
yeah.
words that nobody knows.
Well, I'm sorry
I know.
that you don't know what I'm saying. That's not my fault. Frankly, color-wise, that'll be up to you. I can work with whatever you want.
It's up to all
um,
of us because we're matching.
Oh, I'll get to that. We all have a matching theme, but it is not centric towards the items. So that way, if we are
Like the Power
alone-
Rangers.
Yeah, in a way, but not at all that.
Very nice. Aventhy, you gather all of their measurements. You get some design aspects. You go through all of that. The banquet's gonna happen in probably a day or so. So you guys have basically a day to explore, talk, hang out. What would you like to do?
I know exactly what Edward does.
Edward's got it. You go.
But anybody's free to go before me.
No.
Mine will take-
You do your thing first, because I know
Okay.
what's going on.
All right, perfect. Edward will actually approach the members of the Chosen. I'm assuming they have rooms together or whatever. I want to go see them or one of them, whichever one that seems like the leader, if that's even important.
Okay. The two of them are gonna leave, and then one will stay.
Perfect.
And so
Is that going to be Mustafa, Vivian
or
or
Evelyn. Vivian Redwood would be the one who would Vivian Redwood would be the one that would stay. She's the one in charge of the weave.
VR, virtual reality. Let's go.
So, yeah, Mustafa
perfect.
and Evelyn basically took off as soon as you guys got back because they had to go inform the Chosen. But the rest of you, or Vivian, is still with the rest of you guys.
So, how much time has passed since we got back? Did we just get back?
We'll say it's been a couple hours.
Okay, so Edward, so there's a formal way that the Chosen address each other.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, it's in the form of leaving some kind of note, right? The note itself isn't particularly incriminating. If anybody's like reading it, they won't know what it means.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a typical note, but it has a little sigil and all that stuff, so they know who it is. So Edward does that. Edward makes sure a note gets to them to meet him at a particular inn that he had located from talking with some people.
The Golden Grape.
The Golden Grape. Sure. It's a quite nice establishment, actually. Somewhere where they know they can speak with each other and the terms of the meeting won't be shared. You know what I mean? So Edward has ordered a Merlot wine
Very nice.
and is sitting with the chalice in his fine clothing, waiting in the back
Oh,
for Redwood, Vivian, or
Yeah.
whatever.
After a little while, you do see Vivian walk in. She has, you know, that she's wearing kind of like ceremonial armor. It's not very and it's probably close to like a
Utility.
plate
It's
mail.
like not utility.
Yeah, it's not utility, but it's not also like, you know, full plate golden chested, you know,
Yeah,
kingly.
it's ornamental.
Yeah, it's very ornamental in places. But she has on kind of the cape and the rest of her clothes. She has very long, very dark hair that is usually put in a braid off to the side, but right now she has it down. She walks in and sees the innkeep, a pretty tall gnome. We're talking probably like a 3-foot tall gnome who is
Wow.
been kind of directing you guys. Directs her over to you, which when she comes over, might I join you?
Ah, yes. Vivian, was it?
Yes, you are
He
Edward.
stands. Yes, Edward. It's thank you so much for taking your valuable time to meet with me today. He does, I don't know, some kind of chosen, you know, handshake or something.
They dap it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great time.
She sits down.
Please sit. Yes.
Thank you. So,
Well-
what is it that you wanted to speak to me about? You weren't very specific in your message.
Yes, well, there's plenty that we could speak about, and quite frankly, I wish we had more time, perhaps, to talk. It's not often that I meet another member, but I have a request. I know it's not typical for members to make quests of other members like this, but at the very least, if you could ask the council, I don't know what they're called, the higher-ups, if
I
this
don't remember
is...
what they're called either. I had it written down somewhere, but
If you could at least ask or see to it that somebody is sent, I have a request for you. If that's fine with you, of course.
I could put it in.
Fantastic. Because I know it's a favor. So, as you're aware, the orcs were instated in El Claron.
Yes.
And quite honestly, to me, for obvious reasons, I am very grateful for that. And I care very much about their happiness and longevity here. But as you've probably heard, there is a lot of misunderstanding around the topic. Surrounding peoples, kingdoms, higher classists, noblemen. There are a lot of people that are concerned about their longevity. But our culture, I want you to understand. I don't know what you think of it, but Tarak, who I know you know about, taught me a lot about it. They have poetry, dance, architecture. They're brilliant in their own way. And they're capable of more than people think. It's a culture worth preserving, is what I'm saying. And in some ways, their culture has yet to shine, because they've been trapped in the wastes. Many people think of them as savages, but it's just circumstance. Anyone would become savages in the wastes. And so I have a request. I want somebody to look over the orcs in the surrounding areas. That's been my job. But clearly there's other things happening that I must attend to. And I, in some ways, am not in a position where I can tell people what to do. I'm frankly grateful that I'm even included here. So if you could just see to it that somebody who understands what I'm saying can take a look and maybe report back to me. Right now, they're in a vulnerable spot. And that wall, mind you, one day will fall. I don't like it. But, as of now, it keeps people at ease. But I'm afraid one day they'll think that it isn't enough, and All I'm trying to say is I want somebody to check and keep an eye out while I'm busy. Can you do that for me?
I will put in a request. I think what you're trying to do is important. And so I will try and see what I can do.
Thank you. Now tell me about your adventures. How did this all happen? How did you get involved? And I'll allow them to continue. I'm not expecting you to go there. Yeah, they'll continue to talk more about the past, maybe share some stories, laugh. I mean, they can talk about things Edward can't talk about with anybody, you know? So I think, no. I think it's a rather pleasant exchange, though.
Definitely.
And then eventually, cordially, they'll obviously call it and go back to wherever they're going.
Kiss.
And that's that.
Yeah, you guys talk, you hang out, you exchange war stories, you lament with each other, you sympathize with each other. You guys' lives are not easy by any means. And you're absolutely right. It's hard to find people who are understanding not only of the lifestyle that you live, kind of one of a double lifestyles with a secret personality, basically, but also everybody that's a part of the Order of the Chosen was chosen because of status, abilities, or circumstance, and it has put an incredible weight on each and every member's shoulders. And so it can be hard to find people who can relate to feeling like you have the fate of the world on your shoulders often.
Plus, that mutual respect must feel so nice because they both
100%.
get it. Also, I guess Edward will also take time now to do all of the informative work that the Chosen would like to hear. Maybe Redwood will write some of it or whatever. He'll just give them all of the stuff, the statistics and everything else they need about New Athala and Athala, so they're caught up, and that'll be it. That'll be
Beautiful.
it. That's what Edward does.
Beautiful. While he is off talking with Vivian, Abinthy, did you have something you were wanting to do?
Yes.
Catherine? Okay.
I do.
Abinthy, what you got?
Abinthy is alone with Cather, getting Cather's measurements for the suit and stuff. Yeah, his arms are out. So he's like, all right, raise them, lower them, raise them again, lower them again. While he's doing all the measuring, he'll be down there and he'll go, Cather, while we're here, raise your hand. No. Man, you have an incredible wingspan. While we're here, I had some questions for you. You can put it down now. Thank you. Some questions for you regarding a topic of interest of mine that you may be able to help me with. I know that you aren't currently still measuring this stuff. I just don't want to roleplay it with my hands all the time. You're not currently in a lot of contact with the gods of death. Am I correct with that?
Yes, that is true.
Even though that may be the case, this is a really unfortunate time for the DM to leave. Would you know of any particular way to reach them? Not like in conversation, but to like actually go where they are.
How willing are you to die?
Preferably, I would like to be alive when it happens.
Yes, I figured as much. Unfortunately, as it stands right now, I would be unable to pull any favors like that of granting an audience directly with
I'm
them.
not even talking about an audience. I just literally need to know their location. The Celestial Plane is a big place.
Well, the only place that I've ever known them to be is a place that I know not how to get to. The only times that I've physically met them, aside from on the material plane, is in a place called the Grove. It is specifically the afterlife for the Champions of Fate. It is where I will go after I depart. And there have been times that they have met me there. But they're not always there by any means. If you were to want to directly meet them, unfortunately, I would be unable to. I have no knowledge as to where they typically reside, nor do I have any way to ask for an audience currently.
Do you have anything from them that would potentially resonate with their location or plane?
I don't. I mean, I don't think so, DM. Right? Like, I'm sure I possess items from them, but like,
There's a stag necklace around your neck.
but that would take me to the Grove, in theory.
There's
That
what
would-
around whose neck?
So, Cather's
I'm
holy-
measuring your neck right now.
Cather's holy symbol, which is the head of a stag, is he received that in the Grove. But that isn't. But the Grove isn't necessarily like the gods of death don't. That's like not like their main place that they reside, right?
Right? I mean, anything to get closer to them would be beneficial to me.
You could go to a temple and like just talk to maybe say a prayer.
Are you talking to me?
Hey,
Yeah.
DM,
Yeah?
we're getting there. All right, let
Yes.
the role play happen. Okay.
Dog, I don't know if I want to tempt you like that to just smite me. Wait until I have 8th level spells available, all right? And then we'll see.
Now,
That's funny.
Abinthy, might I ask as to why the sudden inquiry? It doesn't seem like you have much interest in the gods.
No, well, I don't know if that's necessarily the phrase. I have very little favor for them. Interest is a different term. Specifically, the death gods have someone that I care very deeply about.
I see. So then might I inquire that you seek to bring somebody back like we brought Melora back?
Yes. Astute observation.
Well, I suppose the only recommendation I could suggest as of right now would be maybe perhaps going to a temple. In fact, actually, oddly enough, I myself would like to maybe make a trip to Athala myself for such a task.
Can you guarantee that I won't be struck down the moment I set foot in it?
Hey DM.
Uh-huh.
So,
Can I guarantee that you won't be struck down? Yes. What's your question?
So, using perhaps a form of divine sense, would I get the sense that like Abinthy himself is like cursed to like never set foot in like hallowed grounds?
I mean, I can tell you that. I'm not cursed.
This is me
They just
inquiring.
don't like me.
This is me inquiring whether or not he'd get smited on entering a temple. I can.
It's hard to tell, you know.
Yeah,
he's
you know.
Not, there's no, cosmic reason that you can tell at the moment. It's not like he's marked. It's not like he's cursed,
Mhm.
or anything like that. But he's said some pretty blasphemic things since you've known him.
Yeah. Well, I can't guarantee anything at the moment, but perhaps if you would like, if we do make a trip to Athala here soon, I could ask if they would be willing to speak with you in such a place and not smite you instantly.
If you are willing to do so, I will give it a shot. But fair warning, I have made, I wouldn't exactly say friends with the Triad. I mean, Ozilok especially doesn't like me, but that's to be expected, right?
He is the most chaotic, and he is technically considered
Yes,
an evil god. So
I have thwarted Ozilok time and time again, and outright disrespected him.
that's
multiple times.
impressive. That is actually impressive that you're still standing.
Why do you think I don't want to go into the temple? I have avoided them surreptitiously. Oh, bye, DJ.
Oh,
God!
We've lost visual of the
Calm down.
The song,
dungeon
it's
master.
gone! Oh, it's back. And I wouldn't, frankly, I don't remember the other two names. But the neutral one, I wouldn't
Orgol.
say is necessarily, yes, Oracle. Not a huge fan of me either. I haven't necessarily done anything, but I certainly haven't been kind.
I see.
And then I have not interacted with the third one really at all. So
Well,
that one's probably at least neutral, but if you look at the average shift towards negativity,
if you haven't managed to get Adaria mad at you, you actually should be pretty okay.
to be clear, she might be mad at me. I just don't know.
Well-
On average, I would say most gods do not have a good impression of me. I have cost them a lot of currency at the minimum. I've
Well,
also defiled multiple temples.
As far as I know, Adaria is not the betting kind, so
Oh, that's good. That's good. Because she would have lost. Anyway, yes, I would love to go to a temple with you. It sounds like an absolute jamboree.
great.
Now lift your leg.
Okay. Also,
Good,
while
the
we are
panto
on the
moved
topic
fantastically.
of doing favors for one another,
Yes. How can I help?
a little while ago, I'd asked about repairing or reforging a sword.
Yes.
Do you still think you could do it?
I could not. Yorwick could.
Right. And Yorick, this is a past compatriot of yours, right?
Yes, and it is someone that if I wish to go through with what I hope to accomplish once we go to that temple, I will need to visit him either way.
Right. Well, then perhaps we have a few things, a few aligned
Yes. Plan.
goals here. Perhaps
Fantastic.
then. Oh, but no, really, yeah.
Also,
The
I cannot
reason-
promise that I will not actively blaspheme in the temple.
If that doesn't surprise me, I'll put it that way.
That's good, you're learning.
But
You can put your leg down now, by the way.
Okay. But the reason I do inquire is, well, given recent events, and seemingly the impossible becoming possible, and the scale of danger we are soon to face, we've all kind of said it already, but it is very clear that if we are to be of any help in the coming battles, we all are going to need to get a lot stronger. And I do think that will require the reforging of my blade into something new. Into
I mean,
what's new, I don't know yet, but that is for sure.
Yorwick is the finest smith I have ever known, and I have traveled. My feet have trod ground that has not been touched by mortal hands since before the trial. If anyone can make you a blade suitable to defeat your enemies, it would be Yorwick. As long as we can convince him not to kill me on the spot.
All right. Also,
So-
my camera is jeez Louise.
You look great out there, bud.
Focus.
Yeah, you look great.
Focus. You can tell it's blurry and it bugs me. Okay, now it's good.
Well, My name's Blurry Face, and I carry.
Throwback.
Reference.
Great. Well, good. Hopefully then we can make a journey here soon. That direction.
Excellent. Well, I will say, I will, frankly, as long as I have the assistance of my fantastic second-hand thimble here that crawls out of my sleeve, I will have your outfit with you to you within probably an hour and a half to 2. We work fast. We are magically assisted. So in the meantime,
Apathy and company magically assisted.
Magically
Yes.
assisted.
absolutely. The weave was harmed in the creation of this. Just perchance, do you have any other outfits with you that you just happen to have on you, like spare sets of clothing or anything? I'm capable of sewing multiple pairs of clothing into the same pair of clothing,
Oh.
into the same set. So
Well,
you
I
can switch them out in the future.
I mean, I just have my normal just a plain tunic.
I'll cobble something together. It'll be fine. I have your measurements. I can whip some quick. Do you have any preference? Give me a theme. You can choose up to 4 themes other than I can sew 5 clothing.
Okay.
Imagine 1 set of clothing that I then sew 4 other sets of clothing into it.
All right. Well, I suppose. I mean, I suppose we're making a more formal wear.
Yep, formal wear,
A casual.
casual, business casual.
Yep, sure. Business casual. That sounds great. And I suppose a sailing outfit would actually also be very beneficial.
Okay. So like, are you,
Like a
question:
work.
Are you like a full bodysuit person, or are you more of a shorts guy?
Bro,
I mean,
Catherine a romper.
I imagine Catherine would be more of a shorts guy than a full bodysuit guy.
I do think that you have the surfer look down. That toned body would be
Just
fantastic.
a jumpsuit. That would be so good.
Total jump.
And then just a request: could I have just free reign on the final outfit?
Great. That I trust you
fantastic.
on this.
Implicitly, that's a dangerous move to make, and you will learn more in the future. Well, go now. I must work my magics.
Right.
Go, be free. I shall
Hugh
see you.
Abenthy's
Oh,
sewing montage.
Clothes flying everywhere, string
Dream
constantly
music.
coming off of.
You
Just
just
like I
see-
start just levitating as light and strings
For some reason-
like emanate from my body.
For some reason, you do hear
dun,
like the
dun,
sounds
dun,
of
dun.
like a workshop of like a hammer like hitting
Yeah.
nails and like a saw blade and just.
You see Dance Dance Revolution arrows rising as I'm perfect.
You hear from his
perfect,
room,
perfect.
yes, rise! And he's like,
Rise,
it's like
my king,
witchcraft.
rise! Yeah.
Sick.
While
Thimble. That's a thing that I do say. I also snap at him.
Yeah. While Abenthy is creating those, Edward is off. Catherine, would you like to do anything?
Ooh. Well. I mean, I suppose in a somewhat distant manner, he would attempt to I mean, I assume we're getting towards like the end of the day, I imagine, when this is happening.
Yeah.
He would try to check in with like Renaya, make sure that see how she's doing with everything going on, but then also check
I'm
in.
suddenly not feeling good.
Yeah, right. But then also checking in with Melora maybe after she's gotten settled a little bit more and kind of had some time to herself, just to make sure that she's doing okay.
Okay.
Roleplay.
I mean, if the DM feels it necessary to roleplay, I'm fine with that. However, like he's also
We have plot to get to.
and he also Cather feels it necessary to like give some distance. So he would really only want to try and have those kind of conversations if she instigated and felt it was clear that she was kind of ready to even begin to talk to him, to her
Yeah.
apparently
You knock on her door and
ex-boyfriend
you're
who
like, hey,
doesn't
it's
remember.
Cather, and she's like, go away.
Well, he wouldn't even quite do that. Like if he like knew that like she was in her room, he would just be like, okay, I'm just.
Is
Yeah,
the door
come back.
open? No, I'm
No.
going to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds
cool.
very Catherine. It's cool.
Perfect. You guys go about your day. You get at some point, Aventhy finishes the clothes over the course of the rest of the day.
Yes.
So you guys get your new clothes, you get the shift weave,
Nice.
the whole 9 yards. It's awesome. It's incredible workmanship.
Man, I just have to think and it changes.
Yes, I will actually describe a little bit because I made it for Edward. I also made one for Melora as well and Renaya. All of them have the color schemes are of your own choice with some flair that matches kind of your kind of aesthetic and what you're looking for. But they all do have somewhere on the outfit there is an emblazoned. It appears to be a poker chip with FG on it. So
Nice.
it's the epaulette for Cather.
Yep.
There's kind of a sash-like belt. I will say Cather's outfit, because I haven't thought through what Edward's would look like. Cather's is very almost like a military uniform in some. It has like a long coat, like buttons down the side. One of the sleeves is cut short though on the right side to give it a bit of a flare, with the epaulette pauldron on the other. And then the other shift weave stuff is as we go. And then the fifth one is just a skin tight leotard. Basically like a wrestling outfit, but like full like Mardi Gras.
Nice.
And awesome. Like colorful.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is. There are feathers,
Purple and green, gold.
like colors.
Full-on
it
wrestling
looks,
outfit.
It looks incredible. Now would Cather ever wear it? No.
No.
Sounds good for
But-
a banquet, though.
If you ever did get drunk,
if Cather ever got drunk and wanted to make his like starring rookie performance in the WWE after
Absolutely,
he
this
retired
is
from
time.
adventuring,
I'm
that's
just
what he
saying,
would wear.
this is a thing. I guarantee you, at some point in time in this campaign, I will find a way to bring this into relevance.
And I hope you do.
Nice.
I have plotted for this. I'm ready. I also made dresses for the girls to the style that they desire. Very elegant.
Mhm.
I don't entirely know Melora's desire, so I asked her while I was getting measurements and stuff.
Yep.
But it would align with what she wants. Probably a bit more casual, a bit more toned down, not as regal ball gown dressy.
Yeah, not
but a
quite.
lot
Very
more-
simple. Very not
Yeah,
quite.
freedom of
elaborate.
movement.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually, that one,
Very practical.
it is more of, it has like pants. It's not a full dress. Like it goes off to the sides, and then there is like a legging set to it,
Nice.
and there is a way to conceal the bow.
Of
So yeah,
Cool. Very
that's what Abernathy spends his time doing.
Beautiful. You guys get the shift weaves. You try them on. You try it out. But at this point, you would have had dinner. You would have talked. You would have hung out. And so we'll go ahead and say that you guys make your way to your individual guest rooms, where you guys are going to be staying. Eventually, you each find rest of some sort. Maybe. Aventhy does sleep as a kid.
It was
no,
close.
no levels of exhaustion.
Nope.
And you each level up.
Woo! Let's go! It's what we're here for.
Very
This
nice.
is all we care about.
Yeah, you guys each level up.
Yes. Let's go.
So we're actually gonna go ahead and go over to our break real quick. Let you guys level up over the break. We'll be back in like 10 or 15 minutes. And we'll let them kind of figure things out before we keep going. And we are back.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah. We're hobbling our way through this episode. Grant unfortunately had to leave really quick. He had an emergency pop up, and so he had to take off really fast. So just so everybody's aware, we'll probably cut this episode short since we're missing a couple players as well. But we are gonna kick back off where we were
Show
at. You
must
guys
go on.
Awake, a little stronger, a little faster,
Yeah.
a little hardier. And you basically have the rest of the day to kind of do whatever the two of you want before the banquet this evening. Is there anything specifically you'd like to do? What was that?
I kill Abinthy. I must be the last party member standing.
I'm down. I'm
And
ready
then,
to go.
and then I
bud.
bring him
Little
back.
PvP.
Wow.
Abinthy has the right to refuse that.
That's up to him.
I
don't care.
That's how he
actually have
spites you.
I have a magic item that prevents my death. If I'm knocked to zero,
Well,
unless you kill me outright.
I mean, you said you needed to talk to the gods of death, so
That is true, but I need to be able to have leverage of the fact that I'm still alive. It's
Sure.
a bummer, but
So, is there anything you guys would like to do over the course of this day?
before the banquet, just probably do some training.
You and Kiyomura train. Nice.
Yep. But I suppose I should.
I'm good, dog. I'm ready to get my banquet on.
I was gonna say, I think we're both ready to get some dancing.
Beautiful.
Get some orcish dancing up in here.
Heck yeah. Yeah, your day goes by pretty uneventfully. You guys go about different things. Abinthy, you work on some of your spells. You pull some arcane energy into your mana crystals.
Oh yeah.
Cather, you train with Kiyomura. You maybe talk to Melora a little bit. Not really. She's kind of giving you the cold shoulder at the moment. But evening does come, and the workshop area has been transformed into a small banquet hall. We're talking about 25 people here, including yourselves. So very, very small group of people here to celebrate. You have the members of Fate's Gambit, you have Kiyomura, you have Wisteria, you have Adalar, you have a number of other assistants to Adalar who helped with this project throughout its phases. You have Vivian Redwood, who is obviously there representing the Order of the Chosen. And it's a party. There's music, there's live music, there's dancing, there's drinks, there's roasted pig and pork and side dishes, there's bone marrow and toast, there's
Yes.
wine. And yeah,
Yes.
it's a grand old party. What would you guys like to do? Party.
I feel like Abinthy is actually pretty restrained. He has a lot of on his mind right now. He's going through all of the different things that he has to gather and favors that he has to call in and potential gods of death that he has to fight to the death, which is definitely not in his favor. So he's just kind of he's gotten himself a glass of Pinot Noir that he sadly hasn't touched because it's a fantastic vintage.
How dare he try to consume it?
I know, it's devastating. Abinthy will regret this later. He'll actually probably regret this now and then
And is choosing
Make a better
still to
decision.
not do anything.
yeah. Yeah, he's kind of just off thinking to himself awkwardly.
Oh.
Probably too close to people who are not thinking to themselves, but he doesn't realize that he's upsetting the mood.
Yeah, you just sat down at a random table
Yeah.
and they were all lively and chipper, and you sat down and they all kind of look at you and you think they might have asked you a few questions, but you have not said a word to any of the people here. And so they've kind of just turned away from you and started talking amongst themselves. Yeah, definitely. Cather, what are you doing?
Well, Cather is taking the opposite approach, I think, of Abinthy in dealing with the stresses that he currently has.
Okay.
So at first, he probably did something similar to Abinthy. He went to the bar, got some sort of nice drink, just to kind of relax for a little bit. After a little while, like, he kind of got bored of just sitting there and standing there and like driving himself insane with all the things that are running through his head. So he started. I imagine he started, because I imagine for the most part it's just been people dancing on their own. But Cather would start some sort of like I don't want to say country line dance, because that doesn't really exist in this fantasy world, I imagine. But he does do like the equivalent of like a folk dance with he starts a folk dance with like a large group of people.
I mean, there's also traditional like line dancing. I'm trying to remember the name of it. But
Yeah,
like
same.
medieval...
I don't remember. Teach and I did actually used
English
to do
country
it.
dancing.
Yeah, something similar to English country dancing. Sure. But yeah, he does that.
Yeah, you get like 15 of the 25 people here dancing with you. So you got a good crowd going. Music's playing.
Booth scooting boogie.
At some point they play Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh yeah,
Classic.
Abinthy almost gets up from the seat for that one.
Yeah, Footloose, all of it. After a couple dances have begun, partway through one of the dances, when a partner change would happen, Cather would offer his hand towards Melora, actually.
She doesn't take it.
No?
She looks at you and goes, "No way," and then goes and dances with someone else.
Well, hey, I had to try.
Yeah.
You see Abinthy over at the table hold up a second glass of Pinot Noir.
he kind of makes a toasting gesture before actually going back to the dance, just still in step and in rhythm.
Is that for me? You look up and you see Wisteria Vale standing kind of close to you.
I mean, I'm not sure where I got it, so it certainly could be. I have a spare seat next to me. I could have sworn that there were other people at this table when I sat down.
I think your cold shoulder shooed them off.
Nothing about my shoulders are cold.
Might I sit with you?
Oh, of course. Have a seat.
She sits. She takes the other glass. I don't actually really like wine.
That is devastating. I don't think we can be friends. That's a serious tell for me,
Perhaps if that's the case, then I will start taking a liking to it.
Ooh, fantastic. Well, did you? I assume you didn't, because you don't like wine. But whoever chose this specific vintage, fantastic choice. I haven't actually tried it, but I can smell. It's almost like a worn leather aromatic to it. It's a
I love
fine,
Aaron, who doesn't
sweetness.
drink, trying to describe alcoholic flavors.
But I'm just saying, it's very unlike a Cabernet.
Pinot Noir is very
with my
different
list
than
up to
Cabernet.
the side of wine turns.
Excellent with some grilled salmon.
I was hoping to get your opinion on something, actually.
By all means. I have many opinions, and I'm willing to share every single one of them.
What do you think of the ritual?
What aspect of it?
I suppose that's a fair question. How about the ethics?
I mean, people have been bringing people back from the dead since Grandfather Mortis. I don't know if necessarily this has too many ethical differences from that. Are you talking about ethics towards whom or what? Like for the person casting the spell, the person being revived, or the gods who may be offended by it?
I do not care about the gods who are offended.
Ah, cheers.
But I do worry about perhaps public opinion. People are going to be fearful that this will be abused.
I mean,
that
it will
don't have a
be.
place.
I almost guarantee you that the moment that this information is at all released or leaked to the public, it will be horribly abused and cause many terrible things to occur. It is a lot easier to find relics of evil people than good.
That is true.
I've got like 19 in storage, like right now.
Oh, do you? So perhaps me sharing the details of this ritual
Well, it's a
with you
little
was
late
a mistake.
now. But besides, there's other far better targets for me.
Like who?
I'm not going to tell you. I don't think you're worthy of it.
What if I, and she slides the glass of wine over to it, give you that?
Oh. Just one glass. I don't think that'll be enough.
You do not have to tell me. I don't want to pry.
Well, I do love sharing secrets. It's one of my favorites. I like to say that I'm very tight-lipped about them, but when they're my secrets, then they're mine to share.
Do you want to share a secret with me?
I would like to make you feel bad about it.
What does that mean?
The person that I'm seeking to resurrect is someone that perhaps it wasn't necessarily direct, but it is your fault they're dead. Or your people's fault.
Over the course of my lifetime, there are many whose death is at my fault.
Their death is the reason that I became the Mage Slayer of Avarice Hill.
Well, that's rather fascinating. So someone close to you.
Very. Someone very innocent and very kind.
And how is her death my fault?
There was a camp, a neutral healers camp, slightly behind Avarice's front lines. We had notified both sides, informed everyone of our location. But the executioners still came. Whether or not it was your orders or someone else's, they were your people. Perhaps they feared that more of Avarice's soldiers were in our camp than of yours.
I never gave an order. That was the point of the executioners. They were independent. They didn't need orders, they just knew what needed to be done. Nonetheless, I created them.
Yes, how did you do that?
The enforcers were simply an experiment, a way of making flesh a catalyst for arcane energy. It was temperamental, it was chaotic, it was wartime magic, it was desperate. Everyone who signed up and joined, they were all volunteers, thankfully, but they all knew that they were signing up to die. It's not something I wish to do again.
Good.
We lost the war, and I intend to move forward.
Good, because as much as I regret that I am absolutely at fault for you losing said war, trust me, I have no wish for Avarice to be in any form of power. Given the circumstances, I would do it again, as many times as it took. I do not regret that.
As would I.
Good.
So we're in agreement.
Yes, apparently. You're being very amicable about this. I'm surprised.
I have lived many lifetimes, and I have found that it is better to admit one's fault and try to move forward than to create enemies needlessly.
Creating enemies needlessly is kind of my motif. It's what I do. So,
Well, I hope you and I do not have to be enemies.
we'll still have to wait and see. One of the few things that still garners my will to live is spite, so I hold on to a grudge. Who knows? We'll see. If I can succeed in my task and bring her back, then I'm truly the only one at fault. So, the deaths of your executioners are on my hands alone, and I have nothing to be spiteful about. Then I will forgive you. Perhaps. We'll see. I'm still rolling it about.
I would have to think it through a little bit, but if you wish to have help with your venture, I have one that you could be of assistance to as well. Perhaps we could be a mutual benefit to each other.
How would you seek to help me?
Well, the ritual requires rather difficult components. I assume that whoever this is, you could provide the personal item, but I am currently in possession of the soul cage, and I do know of a location to find more Vasporites. They're dangerous and difficult.
Who would you have me help?
A rather old friend of mine.
Old friends.
One who died long ago.
Oh. Are we bringing
Was-
them back too?
I'm sorry, what?
Are we bringing them back too?
That would be my desire. You bring back your old friend, I bring back mine.
Yes, blood for blood, flesh for flesh, eye
Yeah.
for eye, tooth for tooth.
For a certain extent, I don't like, per se, that understanding of that phrase. You know, I don't want to be
Yeah.
spiteful or vengeful, but I do want to be fair.
Hammurabi's Code is one of my favorite adjudications.
Fair
That's
enough.
right, I'm pulling out some thick words tonight, baby.
Fair enough is my response. But if I don't, I don't want to rush your decision or force anything upon you, but if you are interested,
Could I have a name?
the name is Clovar.
And perhaps a spelling.
Klovar.
Does that ring any bells, DM?
Make a history check.
I will be sure to do that once I click on the correct page. Haha. By the way, I rolled a 3 on the die for my health, so my health is up to 90.
Woo!
History could be better, but not by a whole lot. My history is pretty thick. That's a 28.
Okay. The name doesn't immediately ring any bells. One thing that you do get from it is the nature of it. How do I explain this? Clovar has a certain like cultural kind of vibe to it. You can tell that it's Vesht in nature, the name,
Ooh.
which is very, very old. Age of Pandemonium old.
Yeah.
But that's basically all you know about this.
That is an old friend.
Yes, very old. He unfortunately was taken during the Age of Pandemonium, but I believe he could be a brilliant help to me and to us.
Can I just because I'm a suspicious person. Can I roll an insight to check to see if she's like if this is like a good thing?
Okay, go for
Like
it.
do I think that she thinks that I would think that this is a good thing?
Do I think that she thinks that I would think that this is a good thing?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I rolled a natural one. So I'm like,
She
I mean,
seems to
that
have
sounds
known
fair
him.
to me.
She seems to have known him well. She seems to genuinely miss him. But otherwise,
8.
you have, with that 8, for all you know, he could have been a small child.
This
really-
seems legitimate.
Yeah.
That sounds fair to me. I have ways to get around the use of Vasperite, but it certainly would speed up the process.
All right. Well, like I said, there's not a lot of it, so I guess that's one of the beauties of this ritual is that it cannot be performed unlimitedly.
Yes. It
Who
would
would
be a
like that?
very serious problem if you could just mass scale resurrect, just like willy-nilly.
I do like to think that I don't directly try to become a god, but
Yes.
we'll see. But if you are interested, feel free to let me know. Otherwise,
Oh, I'm in.
beautiful.
I think 5 glasses of Pinot Noir in. I am fully in the right mind to make this decision, and I'm not at all tasked with tormented thoughts. So, absolutely, 100% agree. Gives me something to do. I'll take your help, whatever you need. What would you like me to do for your friend Clovar?
Well, as I said, I can provide the expensive components. It's
Yes,
the
where's
personal
his
items.
personal effects?
It's the personal effect that's rather not dangerous, but difficult to get a part of. I'll be honest. I thought you hated me, so I wasn't fully prepared for you to say yes. But allow me some time to do some research and figure out what might be a good way of going about this, and I will inform you of what I need.
Yes, I can do an arcane search in my spare time too, just to see if I can help out a bit. But no, I wouldn't say that I hate you specifically. I'm still very upset. But as I said, theoretically, if this all works and goes down perfectly, then I will have no reason to be upset anymore, and all of my problems will be set straight. So, well, 50% of my main problems will be set straight.
I should
Which
say,
is, that rounds up.
if I was put back in that situation, I would do it again, over
Fine.
and over and over again. But I am sorry about whoever she is.
Her name was Talanashta, and her life was worth more than your soldiers, the executioners, and every person who lives in this little vale of yours. To me, at least.
My regards about Talanasha. And
I
she
feel like we're bringing the whole
clinks her
vibe
glass
back, yeah,
before
so-
kind of standing
so-
and
I
making
think
her
they
way.
started up Cotton Eye Joe again. You should really get in on it. The song is almost as old as you are.
Would you like to do anything else, either one of you, throughout the banquet?
I drink like 4 more glasses.
Nice.
I am
Abinthy gets
sloshed.
hammered.
I am absolutely plastered by the end of the night. I've started just crafting tiny little dolls of like random people. Like they're like an inch tall.
Nice.
And
They're just like the
throw them-
voodoo dolls.
I'm
that
trying
you
to
like,
throw them into people's drinks. Like I'll make a doll of the person and then try to throw it into their drink while they're dancing.
You have created quite the little circle of empty space around you, as people are very much avoiding you at this point.
Perfect. I wish to be alone.
The party goes by. At one point, Wisteria Vale does give a small toast, thanking everybody's hard work, thanking Faint's Gambit for joining us, thanking Vivian Redwood for being able to be here and represent the Order of the Chosen. But eventually the night does wind down before eventually Cather. You're dancing and you're hanging out, you're chilling, you're doing whatever, before eventually you close your eyes for almost just a second too long, and a brief flash of a vision goes behind your eyelids.
Oh, I did not expect this.
It's just a brief image at the feet of the statue of Venenatis. You see Atrasil waiting for you.
Okay. Great.
What would you like to do?
Now remind me, DM. This like statue of Venenatis is like the one that's like in Wisteria Vale, right?
Yep.
That's like because he's like the god of the weave or whatever.
Venenatis is the prime deity of the.
I could beat him up.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't
yeah,
worry about Abinthy.
After,
He casts,
he's not worried about Abinthy at all.
He casts the Gushing Dome, and it just in the middle of the dance hall.
After he kind of
Goes to
gets,
sleep.
after this image kind of
You
appears in his
forcefully
head,
create a bubble in the middle of the dance hall to avoid people.
My tiny hut,
he
and it's
will,
bright pink.
he will, kind of pause, and whoever happens to be the partner he's dancing with, he'll kind of take their hand and give a slight bow before stepping out of the hall.
Mm-hmm. You step out of the hall. It's cool. It's a cool night. But as you have been to and from this building many times, you know that there is that you're on a massive floating rock in the sky. You can see right now this rock rests at about chest level with Venenatis. But if you look off the edge, you can see that there is the plateau that the statue is built upon. There's kind of a big old massive foundation and pedestal on top of the plateau. You can't see Atrasil, but you can assume that you have to get there somehow. You do know that there are the claws, which are the flying manta rays. You're not really quite sure how to summon one of them.
I'm just gonna cast Find Steed.
Okay.
And just, I'm just gonna and I'll just summon an large like just an eagle.
You summon your
giant
eagle,
Yeah.
Mount it, and begin making your way down. You make your way before landing at the base of this temple, and you can see that the foundation is actually kind of like an Acropolis type temple, very like Temple of Athena-esque, where it's all the pillars and it's hollow on the inside, and there's a single brazier in the center with this arcane purple flame constantly burning. And you can see standing not too far away from that brazier is what looks to be a woman, slightly cloaked, but the defining feature is the large straw hat, the large rice hat sitting at the top of her head.
Is she like is her back facing me or?
Yeah.
Okay. As he lands and begins to approach, he says, "Well, I suppose the night sky isn't quite as beautiful as in the small fields of a town, but they are still beautiful." As he kind of stands next to her. And
I
as
suppose
do
that-
you.
Thank you. That's very kind. Before we get started, Drew,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to roll a
Before
d4.
we get started.
I'm sorry. I need to roll a d4.
Yeah.
What does that
This will
mean?
determine how many rounds it'll take before Melora shows up and absolutely headshots her. Like, just gone.
Why do I need to roll a d4, DM?
That's awesome.
Is it because I absolutely predicted what is about to happen? No.
Honestly, actually, it's probably how long it will take an arc fade to show up to try and murk her.
So before Melora,
I rolled a 3, DM.
Okay.
that's
Let me
good.
just check my notes here.
Okay, what the heck does this mean?
3 means a meteor falls from the sky.
The statue of Venidas just comes to life and crushes you guys.
Yes.
Okay. Cather, you asked me a question a couple of days ago.
Yes, about the Chrysalis and Zariel. Or right?
Zestari.
Zestari,
Close
that's
enough.
the one, not Zariel. Sorry.
I'm concerned about this ritual.
Like the one we just did.
Yes.
Oh, great. I was right.
As predicted, and I would hope would be understood, this ritual is very dangerous.
Okay.
Not only does the components needed to even perform the ritual incredibly dangerous to acquire. If this ritual were to fall into the wrong hands, it could be terrible.
Right.
So be careful. But I'm nervous because I wasn't always like this.
Aaron.
Go on.
There was a time where I was much different.
Oh, I have an idea now. I'm sorry. Keep going.
I can't keep going though, because you've gone through your 3 rounds. As she's saying this,
Oh, God.
What do you mean 3
You
rounds?
blew it. That was 18 seconds, dude.
as she's saying this, you have come to. You're looking at her, and she's looking at you. You look past her for a second, and you see on the plane.
It's just stars. Just...
You do see Zestari
Oh, God. No.
standing just on the outside of the Acropolis. Just standing there. You see her as the moonlight kind of glints off of her kind of rose gold armor that almost organically flows around her, with her crown of kind of like sunlight beams resting on her forehead, and the massive sword that you very vividly remember impaling Melora.
Yep, I do. I sure do.
Standing there. You see her. What would you like to do?
I mean, if I see her, I'm pulling out my sword.
Okay.
Right? I mean, like, is she brandishing her sword?
Oh yeah, her sword's out. She's just standing there, kind of wait, almost like she wants you to notice her. She's waiting for you to look.
Okay, well, I mean, I will step to be parallel, like side by side with Atracel, but like facing Zestari, and kind of Cather himself will kind of put a hand on the hilt of his sword. Before
You
saying,
you should go. Leave.
shut up.
You can call her later.
Yeah, and then what happens when she just kills me?
Oh, Wisteria.
Atracel, Cather, this is a relationship test right here.
He'll kind of speak out and say, "And why might you be here?"
Go away.
He kind of just chuckles. That is none of your concern. And she takes a step forward into the Acropolis At this point, you notice in your peripheral vision on either side of you, also entering in from the toe and the foot, you see 2 other Arcfey.
Oh, great. There's 3 of
One that
them.
you recognize as Travaron, the massive spined, horned, gorilla-like creature.
Okay. Wonderful.
And then on the other side, across from him, opposing him. So to your left is Travaron, right in front of you is Zestari. You see another creature, one that you haven't met before, one that you don't recognize. Kind of Minotaur-esque in their nature. They have hind legs that come off of a horizontal body, but the front legs, what would be kind of the horse half of them, are hand-like in nature. They're not hoofed legs, but they have hands and claws before the torso comes up off of the front half with these long kind of vine-like spindly arms that come down into these natural claws. Her face kind of looks like almost like she's wearing like a bark mask with these kind of spines that come up and off of the back of her head, with this mane of bright red kind of ginger hair kind of coming off the back and down her back a little bit and spreading across the torso of her. So you see these 3 Arcfey
Great.
standing surrounding.
Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach.
You're not here. I have no way to contact anyone.
I'm telling you to put me in.
I would love to. I would love to have.
Surely Wisteria knows that this is going on. This is her city.
They all begin stepping forward. You turn around to go leave, to try and find an escape.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't leave unless Atrasil leaves.
Yeah, well, at this point, Atrasil has kind of thrown back her cloak. She has both of her swords out, and she's also looking around, quickly realizing that this is a very, very bad situation.
Yeah, no, this is very bad.
You turn to kind of examine, and you do see a 4th and final Arcfey coming up from behind you. This one, a large owl-like figure, almost kind of like the guy who manages the temple, the library in Avatar.
Yeah, sure.
Similar to that, except kind of more like a snowy owl, very white with speckles, and somehow almost having kind of like a mane of feathers coming around to frame its face rather than the smooth neck that it
Okay, all right.
You have these 4 Arcfey surrounding you.
Yep.
What are you gonna do, Cather?
Well, that's a great question. In theory, probably all these people can fly, right? That's probably a thing. At least the owl can.
Atrasil will turn to you. Cather, you need to leave now.
Not without you.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I can't just leave you
and
to
at
die.
this point-
Throws you like a football.
At this point, the 2 on the sides, Travaron and the Minotaur-esque creature, both begin to charge forward.
Well, I mean,
I'll let you roll initiative for me.
Great. Okay, I was just gonna say. I mean,
and you leave me out of everything.
he would. Yeah, like as they were, kind of talking, he would pull out his sword, but we'll get to that, I guess.
No. Ah!
Oh boy. I'm scared.
I don't know why you would be scared. This doesn't seem like a very scary situation, personally.
Like if I were to give it a name, it's scary now.
Abinthy is out. Already.
I am so upset that I'm not here for this.
Oh, okay. That's actually not the worst initiative roll on the planet for me. Probably still going to be last because I'm fighting 4 Arcfey.
And I don't get to have any fun.
Oh my goodness, dude. Jeez,
Wisteria
DJ.
Veil better wake me up.
Oh my.
You know?
What'd you
Be
get?
like, yo, dude, you gotta go get your mans.
I got a 12. Am I going last, DM? Oh boy, this is really, really bad.
Oh wait, actually, let's just look at something. You know what? With the 4 of these creatures coming in, they begin to charge forward.
Yep.
At that moment, as they come charging in, you see 2 small flashes of light beyond the Acropolis.
Beyond.
On the outside. One behind Zestari, and the other off to your left behind Traveron.
Okay.
You see 2 familiar faces
Oh, okay.
arrive from this beam of light. You see Malice
Gah!
in his full armor
Ooh, okay.
appear behind Zestari and immediately go in and just like bear hug her before suplexing her out of the Acropolis. You see the other familiar face of Malkuma, who helped.
Yeah. He's the one who,
Malice.
like, he
That's a
made
good
the
one.
armor, right?
Yeah, he's the one that's in the sick armor with the crescent blades.
Yeah.
Here on the other side, and they begin charging forward. With these 3 gods defending themselves against the 4 Archfey, we're gonna go ahead and end tonight.
No. Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on. Look,
Oh,
Thea, I know.
you can't
I
just
know we're
leave me
missing
asleep in a
two
bubble.
people right now, but I'm just saying, couldn't we go for like, I don't know, like the first round of combat just to see what happens?
I'm fine if we end, but
No.
can I get a guarantee that I get to participate in some manner?
Oh yeah, Aaron, you can show up.
Okay, that's. I would
I'm
like
not
to show
gonna
up now.
exclude you.
Now, please.
Hey Aaron, you feel in your bones. You're like,
Oh,
my divine sense
ah.
is tingling. There are gods here. You look out one of the windows and you can see at the base of the statue of Venenatis, 7,
Well,
you know, 12 to 17-foot creatures
I like
that
to
are
imagine.
clashing.
I like to
And then
imagine.
you see Cather just trying to figure out how to not get crushed like an ant in the crossfire. No offense, Cather, you can defend yourself, but at the moment, this is like guerrilla warfare with literal beings that control the cosmos.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Like, like-
Cather, you look out over the cityscape. You're like, "Is there a way out?" You look back towards the like dance hall that we were at, and you just see a comical dust cloud, and at the front of it, Apathy has just
Hiked up his robes.
I do like to
he's
imagine.
full sprinting.
I do like to imagine, like, Apathy didn't sense the presence of the gods, but he did sense the presence of, like, massive amounts of magic being used to transport godlike beings
yeah.
to the material.
That's really what it was. You had a tingle in the weave. You're like, whoa, something
The
big.
weave rippled and it full on flipped me over onto my back. I was like,
We are sorry that we're going to end very early tonight. Unfortunately, we lost Grant. Hopefully
Yeah.
he's doing well for the emergency that he had to take off for. But we love you guys. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you dealing with the fact that we also have lives and that we can't be here every single Sunday.
Yeah.
But we hope that you guys have a great rest of your night. Now you have a little
We'll
time. All of you
be here on
kids can go to bed
Thursday.
early now. That's good. That's good. Sleep is good. But yeah, we'll be back next week to see what the heck happens as Cather gets crushed. Yes, Aaron.
Hopefully,
We'll talk more
we
about
don't
this
die.
on Thursday because we'll be back because
That's right.
last week
Yeah.
was Thanksgiving. This week there's no holiday. So straight up, we'll be there. I will be. I don't know about we, but I'll be
I-
there. Table scraps at 1:30 CST. Talk about this episode, all the crazy nonsense that went down. Try to give you some more updates about what is going on with the paper dungeon, and then probably end up talking about something real dumb like Twilight or how taunt should be a status and mechanic in Dungeons and Dragons, something like that. So check us out on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. CST. It's going to be absolutely fire, and
Exactly.
it's a fun time that we hang out and talk, and you can ask
It
us
is a fun
questions,
time.
and that's cool. So
Awesome. Well, with that being said, good luck and Godspeed, Dungeoneers. We will see you next time. Have a great night. Bye-bye.